Klur Snem Jingïoh Hima.
Menteri Kabinet Boarding Joko Sarkar Jela James PK Sangma habai keren bet kinong thok khobor haying sa jungu ulayathu ba ka Jingïoh pisa ka Meecl Energy Corporation Limited kala khambyang hakini ki Snem kata Naduh Snem arhajar khatpra Haduh arhajar arpoi lada yunujor bat Snem arhajar shipo Haduh arhajar khatpra katkom kijing penchai Menteri Kabinet Boarding James PK Sangma ulaong balang ba kijing shimi kilat kilanti manpan bhaya gurkom traikam ke Meecl Naduh kajinglum ya kabai thangding electric kajing penduna ya kajing du'nong ka Meecl kala khamla manpenmi pisa hakini kilai Snem lada yanujor Naduh Snem arhajar shipo Haduh arhajar khatpra kajingyo ka Meecl kalong sanspa arpulai Klur bat hakilai Snem kata Naduh Snem arhajar khatpra Haduh arhajar arpui kajingyo ka Meecl kalong nriuspa prapsau Klur Uni Menteri Lapan Syai Biang bawat lada kadon kejing pensngotu bakla nagi kato kadni sepang usmat meter hanrei kador kabadai hok kadai bej lai hajar nyospa sanpo tengka uwei usmat meter bat kam dai setia kembala penpriang kubor bakador uwei usmat meter kadai kendai hajar sospa sau ula ongru bagi pajba kimdon kam bansiu ya usmat meter namar kadai kejing bai pisa kabala yarap dak sorkar pedeng langba karam kabala shim naga ADB
They have given 3 weeks time for the government to...
And then they're saying about salary.
I think that it's very important to note that, as I said, reforms is a difficult phase in the life of any kind of organization. It's bound to create a sort of disruption in the system, and today, the engineers, they have to understand that this is much needed reforms. They are resisting the implementation of these smart meters, which is, I think, that when the whole country is shifting from static meters to smart meters, it is because they see the kind of benefits that are there in bringing in smart prepaid meters, which we've already done. Now, how can the engineers say that this is bad for the state when the whole world, when the whole country is going through that transitional phase, and Government of India has made it very clear that within a certain period of time all meters are to convert to smart prepaid meters, and we've already initiated the process. So to make such kind of demands based on this is, I think, is unnecessary. Now, if they say, in terms of salaries, if you look at, how salaries are being paid, very recently you've seen that salaries are being paid very much on time, within the first week of every month. Pensions are being paid. And this is something that was so erratic in nature in the past. The employees never knew when they would get their salaries. So I'm not saying that we have solved the problem of salaries, but I'm saying that with these kind of steps that we have taken right now, that many of these problems related to salaries, to pension, we are experiencing a turnaround. We are experiencing a streamlining of the system. So it's very unfair for somebody to say that salaries are not being paid and pensions are not being given. It's very unfair. The truth of the matter is that the whole system is getting streamlined as we speak. I think what's very important to understand in the energy or the power sector is that most of our revenue is affected due to losses. And these losses are aggregate technical and commercial losses. So aggregate technical and commercial is an aggregate of both technical. Technical is in terms of transmission loss, in terms of hooking, power theft, and in terms of commercial losses wherein our billing efficiency is extremely low, which is right now, although we've been able to bring it up to 72% from the previous 62, still 72 is a very dismal figure, and this is something that we have to strive to bring it up to 99 to 100%. And now with these kind of interventions that we are bringing in, reforms, we believe that we will be able to reduce the AT&C losses And when we reduce the AT&C losses, we'll be able to see a marked increase in the revenue of Meecl, and it's already happening. So the revenue of Meecl right now, it's not nice to compare, and I don't want to go into some kind of a blame game in the past and all that. But now if you look at the revenue collection of Meecl from the years 2010 to 2018. Now the revenue collection of the Discom on an average yearly was 523 crores between the year 2010 and 2018. And in these 3 years since 2018 till 2021, we've been able to bring up the revenue, the average yearly revenue of the Discom MEPTCL to 684 crores approximately. So we can see that the revenues are increasing. Why are these revenues increasing? Because of the reforms that we are bringing in. And these reforms are not yet 100% on the ground. Once these are 100% on the ground, for example smart meters, for example our strengthening of our distribution network, wherein we are installing new substations, be it 33, be it 132 kV substations, be it in terms of improving our efficiency, billing efficiency, by introducing smart meters, be it in terms of streamlining the functionality of the Meecl by introducing ERP. So all these things will eventually, like what we've seen, there has been a growth in the yearly average revenue from 523 to approximately 684 crores. So like that, we will see the trajectory. It's moving in the right direction, and we will see that eventually a lot of revenue will come in. So that's one side. The other side is to increase our generation, and that is what also we are trying our level best to ensure that generation will increase mostly from renewable sources, and maybe if the need is there, from thermal also. Of how many hours of load shedding took place from the year 2010 to 2018, and now what is the kind of load shedding, how many hours of load shedding do we have. So you will see that you have to also, when you analyze that data, understand that it is during the lean season that we have majority of our load shedding. The lean season is sometime from November, December, January, February, March, when we have less rainfall, because most of our generation comes from rain-fed rivers which operate, the hydropower stations are operating because of it. And now if you look at the situation, if you go to Meecl, ask them for the records, you will realize that load shedding has drastically reduced over these past 3 years. And when the allegation comes that the government is not performing in terms of the kind of load shedding that has been taking place, I think that the figures speak for themselves. The figures speak for themselves in terms of the fact that there is lesser load shedding right now than it used to be in the past. So I think it's very important that we have to understand it from that point of view, that load shedding is something that is right now. We had a few hours of load shedding in the past months. These were because of regulation by our power generating stations like NTPC, NEEPCO, power transmission companies like PGCIL. So these happened because of the regulations imposed by them, not because we were deficit by power. We have streamlined the system in such a manner that today, even though we are just touch and go, our peak generation and our peak demand, the gap between it is not much, even though that is the scenario, but yet it is not because of the shortage of power. It is because of central power generating stations that come and they regulate us. So there's a big difference between regulation or load shedding in the past and of now. We have to understand that this regulation is taking place because of outstanding dues, not because of shortage of energy or power. So there are many projects which are there in the pipeline. Those which have the survey and investigation was carried out for those projects, and those documents are there. We have taken them out. We have started initiating the process for making sure that these projects are put out so that people can go through these and they can study whether they are feasible or not, and depending on their viability take these projects up. So these are in the process. This is with an intention to make sure that our generation is bumped up, because right now we are just touch and go. We are not deficit right now, we are surplus, but only by a few megawatts, which is nothing to be proud of, which is something that even though we are not deficit, we are still surplus, but little that is such a small gap that it's something we have to work upon. Because on an average, when you spread it out over a year, we end up suffering a lot. So having said that, Ganol was such a project which was made unviable because it was just left like that. And Ganol is a 22.5 megawatt project, and this is something that because it was just left like that, it would have gone into a wasteful expenditure eventually, but the government of the day, I mean our Honorable Chief Minister, he was very helpful in making sure that a grant can be provided by the government of Meghalaya so that this project can become viable. And because of the kind of help and the support we're getting from government of Meghalaya, today we are being able to ensure that the levelized tariff stands at 4.59, which is a very good rate. Now, if this project were as it were standing without the help of the Honorable Chief Minister, the levelized tariff would have been around 11 or 12 rupees, which is approximate figure, but it's around that much. So that would have made the project completely unviable. But then our Chief Minister, he took a decision to help this project because it's very important for the Garo Hills. And Garo Hills has long been neglected, be it in terms of the distribution network, the transmission network, and generation for that matter. It has been completely neglected. And for us, this is such an important project for the people of Garo Hills. And we have taken it because this is I think going to be such a wonderful project for the entire Garo people and the Garo region. So I believe that this is going to go a very long way in addressing the power woes of the region of Garo Hills.
Why is this delay? Is it because of the failure of the engineers of Meecl, or what is the reason that these projects are not taking place? Or
These projects are, I don't want to blame anyone, yes, there have been delays on the part of the engineers, but I don't want to blame anybody here. But here what is important is that these reports were eventually completed, and these survey and investigation reports are going to help us now to start exploring where we can set up hydro projects, and the whole process which would have again taken us so many years more is now at least at that stage where we can now pick it up and now start moving on.